Welcome back, East Coasters and beyond. This is East Coast DNA Podcast. I am Andrew, and this is
Darcy.
And with us today from Prince Edward Islands, we have Feelings, and I think the whole band. It looks like,
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Minus a keyboard play.
Right.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
So last month we covered a couple artists from Nova Scotia, and now we're gone over to PEI. We're going to circle the Maritimes a little bit up until East Coast Music Awards. So here we are in PEI. We're not in PEI. They're in PEI. We're here. And Darcy hunted you guys down. How do you find them, Darcy?
Online, just with my nonstop search for new music and stuff, I came across these guys. It was the punk sound that really stood out for me because, I mean, I'm familiar with older punk music that I don't hear around anymore, and that kind of jumped out to me that there's obviously some older influence there in some of your own writing. And well, we'll get into it a little bit here too, but just a credit to the band too. Even when I was doing the research, I did notice too, like lyrically, like you guys really are communicating a message there. And from the little bit that I was able to find out about you in my research too, it seems like you are those people too, like you're living what you're speaking to. So, I mean, that's some credibility that, and no offense to anyone else, but you don't see that in all of the music that's out there anymore.
Yeah.
So that was definitely something that was interesting to me. It made it stand out a little bit. So thought I'd take a chance and reach out to you guys. And you were unfamiliar to me as well. So it was a little bit more interesting for me to dig in because everything I found was new to me and I'd dig a little deeper. So I did see too that you guys all have a little bit of background with other projects as well too. So, and I did see a little bit about more of your some of your personal stuff too. You guys have some varied careers there outside of your music as well. So
yeah.
So
dare I ask? Oh, no. The internet knows a lot about us, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of information on the internet. You'd be surprised.
Onlyfans.com/feelings.
No.
So Darcy said he noticed a punk sound. When I listen to Post Capital, I hear some like David Bowie-ish influence. Is that true, or is that just what I'm hearing?
You have Bowie, anyone?
We love Bowie. I love Bowie, but I don't know if we really draw from him too much in our music. I think more like, maybe The Cure and the old punk, I think, kind of hits the nail on the head pretty well.
Yeah.
We listen to very different music, all of us, and we're always sending stuff to each other. And sometimes we like it, and sometimes we don't.
Yeah, sure.
There's a few bands we really agree on. That like the OCs is one that I think most of us dig pretty much. They're a great band.
The Wipers, love the Wipers.
Yeah.
Market Chorus is great. There's
we cover
listen
one
to
of
a
their
lot of different stuff too. It's not all punk rock, but I really like dark wave and new wave and post punk and that kind of stuff. And listen to music with other languages, German music and Japanese and stuff like that.
Swedish
Swedish music.
Yeah, that was another thing I noticed too. You guys had a little bit of French on the EP there.
Yeah.
So are you any of you guys bilingual, or is there any French background, or it was just?
Yeah, I speak French fluently, and we have quite a few friends who are French Acadian and francophone, or a lot of our anglophone friends speak French as well. So
Sure.
When we get together with a lot of our friends, we'll speak in both languages, and
it's kind of rolls back and forth without much effort.
Jess is
my wife and my kids are both French.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my son speaks French. So
Our grandmother would swear at us in French. So
Made in public to do with your kids.
It's the funnest thing to do.
Exactly.
Some people know.
She made me cry in French all the time.
Let's learn in another language.
And so we do have a list of everybody in the band and what you play, but since there's four of you there, rather than me reading a list off, do you guys maybe want to introduce yourselves for our audience and say what you do in the band?
Go from this side over.
Left side. My name is Fadi, and I drum for Phil.
and various percussion.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm Devin. I play guitar and backup vocals, sing backups.
That's right. Brad, I do vocals and write the lyrics.
My name's Chris. I play the bass.
And
missing is our buddy Matt, who's on synth.
Yeah, Matt Packman, he's not here. It's too bad.
You
So
pack one up and one away.
Yeah. I was wondering, is Chris the same Alibi Lounge Chris, or
Yes, correct, yeah.
Alibi.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there you go. So there's a little bit of background for anyone that remembers the venue.
Yeah,
So
we played a lot of shows there. As Chris and I used to be in a band a long time ago called Dogfish Head, a Scottish band. So we actually met playing in that band together, and then we played quite a few shows at the Alibi actually before it shut down.
And would that have been like your early years in playing, or were you already working in a couple different bands before that?
We'd been playing for quite a while on our own. I think you'd been playing for years and years, and I think it was my 4th or 5th band, maybe something like that. Fresh out of university, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
25, 26 years old.
What was that, like 2005, 6 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was around there, right?
Yeah.
And then is that was there some kind of merger at some point with was it Fresh Kill or
Fishkill.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it.
Fishkill, yeah.
It's just missing the vowels.
Yeah, we just took the vowels out and put all caps because kind of punchy.
Yeah.
But that was me and Devin and Fady and 2 others that we played with, and that was that's kind of how we started playing together. Actually, I met Fady's wife was looking for someone to borrow a saw from on Facebook and to do some like trim work, and someone suggested a circular saw, and I used to work building houses and I still do carpentry work, and I was like, oh, you don't want to use a circular saw for trim work. So I messaged back about a chop saw I had, and I went over to drop it off and met Fady, and we started talking, and ended up hanging out in the garage for like a couple hours, and then said, we should start playing some music together.
And do you want to plug your garage since you've mentioned the word?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, we met in the house garage.
That's right.
Okay.
I do own a repair shop.
So anyone listening over in PEI, there's a garage for you to check out anyway.
That's right.
Most fair, fair and reasonable, and totally. Best mechanic in PEI.
Yeah, that's right.
I got myself an acoustic guitar the same sort of way. Someone was looking for a drywall
That's hilarious.
drill.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
I had a DeWalt one that I used, and then I was done renovating that house, and it just sat around for 5 years. And I messaged the guy, I said, I have one. What do you have? And he said, do you play guitar? I'm like, well, I'll take a guitar. Yeah, sure. So,
Sure.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Bartering is good. We'll do some bartering.
Could you make a guitar out of drywall?
out of drywall.
You can make a guitar out of anything.
It might not last, but you can make it, right?
I'm a little
And so what year would Feelings have become a band, like that you guys were all together under that name?
I think it's been 3 years now. We kind of, so like when Fishkill sort of dissolved, we recorded a couple EPs as that group, and then as that dissolved, the 3 of us thought, we'll keep playing music together. So we kept jamming pretty well weekly, I think. And then we were kind of on the hunt for a bass player. So we auditioned one guy. He was a nice guy, but our schedules didn't really work out too well. And then we actually wanted Chris to play keys. We were thinking he could do the bass with the left hand, and then his right hand could do some synth parts. So he showed up to the first rehearsal with the synth, and then he showed up to the second rehearsal with the bass.
Yeah.
That's a funny looking piano.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because we kind of, we're kind of like playing a lot of the same sounds, and we're the same people from Fishkill, and so we kind of wanted to make a new sound, throw a keyboard in there and change it up a bit. And Chris is an amazing keyboard player, but he said, I play keyboard in every band that I played in, and so I'd like to play bass, right? And we were like, sure, you can't argue with that. Like, we kind of have the philosophy that everyone should be able to just add what they want, and we don't really have a sound that we go for, but everyone kind of just adds in what they want. We work together and figure something out. And So
Yeah, it turns out he was a fantastic bass player.
Yeah,
too,
it's
so.
awesome.
I didn't even know.
To find someone that wants to play bass, that's a big step right there. Just joking.
Yeah.
I like playing bass too.
And so I guess lyrically, so Brad, probably more so for you.
Uh-huh.
I mentioned that when I was doing the research, I found a few different things about some of you guys too. I did find a couple news articles searching for your names individually without looking for the band.
Right.
So I know that there's a little bit of history of some social rights.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to speak to any of that. I don't want to just go right into quoting old articles, but yeah.
It's on the paper, and there's lots of other stuff too. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I did see both, I guess, support ally for LGBTQ stuff, and I also noticed protests stuff about segregation and racism.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So has that been a lifelong passion? I mean, most people have a teen angst part of their life where they're very passionate about it. And I definitely feel like what I'm hearing in the lyrics, there's a little bit of that punk ethos that kind of stayed with you over the years. But maybe if you want to speak to it yourself a little bit from your personal experience, where the passion comes from.
Yeah. So I think, these types of issues I was not aware of until I went to UPI and started taking classes there. And I started learning about a lot of stuff that was happening in the world, and I was kind of shocked. And I think I was pretty naive at the time. And so it was upsetting, and I was not very happy about what I was finding out. And so I started writing for the Cadre newspaper, and I was trying to, I was writing social, political stuff and creative writing and having fun. And I ended up getting into organizing rallies at different points, and have been approached and asked to help organize different rallies and supports for various things that are happening in town. There's a lot of social justice issues that need to be dealt with, and that really are huge problems. And with music, I find like I have a hard time writing lyrics that don't have anything to do with social justice or bringing up issues, because I feel like I'm wasting my voice. And so I want to use this as an opportunity to talk about things and bring things out into public, and just like get it out there, and hopefully have a conversation, or at least bring it out into public for people to hear and talk about, and that kind of thing. So I've done some different rallies and that type of stuff. So.
And I did see one unfortunate reference there that they have, like, was it Hug and Kiss?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So was that actually like somebody attacked you guys, or?
No, it wasn't us that were attacked. It was I think it was 2012, and there was a gay couple in Little Pond up near the eastern end of the island, and they were firebombed in their house at night. And so one of them, as I understand, had a broken leg at the time and had to be thrown out the window, and they escaped through their back window. They had been getting like hate mail in their mailbox at the time, saying it's a sin and that type of stuff. They had moved here and thought they would live here forever. And they had their house burnt down in the middle of the night because of homophobia. And so we organized called the Hug and Kiss In, and it was kind of a straight and LGBTQ plus alliance, but we wanted to highlight that it was like, straight people that were organizing it and acting as allies. And so we also wanted to be kind of a positive thing, show our support for this couple and for LGBTQ plus people everywhere. And so we did a Hug and Kiss, and we played like, that game Duck Duck Goose. We played that and ran around in a circle. I think we called it Duck Duck Jennifer. And then we had people kissing whoever they felt like kissing, and we had like the longest kiss, that type of stuff. And there was quite a few people that came out. There was a lot of people that came out.
And this was pre-pandemic.
This, yeah, that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine kissing anyone you want now.
It actually
That's right. Yeah. It was the early, so we thought, if we did something that was fun and exciting in public, then we're going to get some media. It did work.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I mean it's still out there too. Like I found
Yeah.
it. So I mean it's obviously that stuff's left online, not just for archival purposes. Like people still go back and see that stuff. So I mean there's still a little bit of attention, and well, hopefully people are hearing more about it right now too. So
Yeah,
it was. I don't remember that happening. Maybe where it wasn't super local, it wasn't covered in any media I was following at the time. I am aware of stuff that has happened locally. I mean, unfortunately, not naive to the fact that it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Just
Well, that was kind of part of it too. Is it wasn't a new idea to do a hug and kiss in. It happened in somewhere in Western Europe. I can't remember where it was, but there was a protest against the Pope, I believe, and they did a similar thing. And so the idea was that like it's not an isolated event that happens in one geographical area at one certain time, but it's connected to all these other things that are happening and hate that's happening all over the world. And it happens here in our hometown and your hometown all the time. So, it's not something that happens over there. It's happening here everywhere.
Yeah.
In my day job, I see lots of fallout from. I'm a paramedic, so I see lots of
all right,
the fallout from hate, and it sucks.
Yeah, wow. That's intense.
Hate people because they're assholes, not because of what they're born into, right?
Yeah.
And so the album came out. Was it 21 that you released, or was it actually just last year that the album came out?
We just got it squeaked in for the ECMA deadlines, I think.
Oh, okay.
It was end of September.
7-8 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 11.
Oh
It was 11:51 at night. We were still dealing with some payment issues and stuff to these ECMAs. I think.
Oh my God.
Files wouldn't upload to 11:55. Brad and I were on the phone pretty late.
So will you guys be making the trek over to Halifax since
we haven't heard yet, but we could go over to just do it. Unfortunately, it's the same weekend as my wife's 40th, so I'm obligated to stay. Yeah,
take her with you.
Yeah, I did say that. She's like, I don't want to go to my 40th.
Do you want to go to Halifax? Or
go to like Sarah's or something.
If either of you play guitar,
yeah, could fill it for me.
Actually, Andrew plays guitar, so there you go. He has your contact information.
Yeah.
And we know where you work and everything now with the notes. We're in big trouble.
But no, I don't know if they announced the showcases or not. We were really hoping to grab at least a showcase spot and head off. But I think our keyboard player there is in Halifax now, so I think the plan is to go anyway to Halifax at some point soon and play a show there. Maybe stop in Moncton and play a show in Moncton on our way back. So maybe like a Friday and Saturday. Could be in the spring sometime. We really need to sit down and hash out some dates that are going to work for everybody, because Chris is generally working every single weekend with his work right now, so it's tough for us to we have to book something way ahead of time to do that.
Yeah, that's
I
understandable.
really want to play off island too.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. We're gonna. Yeah,
Moncton's got some cool spots too.
Yeah, we would have. I think we'd have a decent crowd in Moncton. We know quite a few people there, and not so much in the music scene, but I think they could drum up some audience for us.
We've been noticing just with the bands that we've been following and organically, there has been a lot of traffic there for heavier bands lately. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It seems like, I don't know if maybe there's new venues opening. It didn't seem like there was much going on for a little while. And
I never
there was a pandemic. They might have just been a little slower to reopen.
Came out of the pandemic angry, I guess. Wanted to listen to harder music.
Yeah, Zero's Arcade seems like a cool spot.
Where Zero's Arcade?
Zero's Arcade.
Is that in Moncton? Yeah. Oh, I don't know that spot.
The Laundromat too is cool.
Yeah, Laundromat. I don't know if they do shows or not, but I would love to. Plan B. I don't know if that place is still there or not. That would be another option.
You'll definitely have to keep us updated so we can plug you more in the future episodes. We're planning on doing a few New Brunswick bands next month probably. So hopefully we have a few listeners out that way too.
Yeah,
definitely have a Halifax base. So I mean, anyone listening can keep an eye out for any upcoming performances. Where the recording's fairly new. Do you have a strategy for releasing like singles or anything, or music videos, or you?
There is, yeah, we had plans for music video. It's not off the table yet. We've got a great friend that's a videographer that has offered his services, but
Cool.
just finding the time, I think. It was kind of a plan, and then, you know, other things come up, get in the way, shows get booked. We focus on recording for a bit, and then, but as far as singles release, we just dumped the whole EP online, and we're happy about that.
Yeah, like I said, I discovered it through listening and research, and I went back to it just from hearing it. So I mean, the radio play wouldn't have drawn me in the first place anyway. It was it was a little different approach.
Yeah.
So going into the rest of the year, then, do you guys plan on doing some, like, you're going to try to get out to off the province for a little bit? Do you have some other shows around? You guys actually have Music PEI coming up a lot quicker than the ECMAs. I guess that's in March.
Yeah, we haven't booked a date yet, but we'll be at the Trailside in March, Trailside Music Hall.
Cool.
We're still drumming up a couple extra bands to play with us. Maybe one more band to play with us.
See, the trouble with Music PEI is we don't have a fiddle player.
It's
sort of a prerequisite.
We will soon, though. Actually,
Actually,
all joking aside, we're going to start jamming with a violin player.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't tell you this. Yeah, he comes to all our shows. Actually, he loves our stuff. He's a guy that played with Catholic Gaydar.
Yeah, that's viola.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Was he playing viola?
It's a viola.
Oh, that's even better.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even fancier.
Yeah, that'll fit in nicely.
More fun to say.
Yeah, viola. You know what you're talking about if you say viola.
So as far as the editing goes, we have a note here that Devin does the editing. Do you do it all of it, or do you share that work?
It may be misleading.
Two Devins.
Because our engineer's name is Devin as well. And he did, so our studio guy, he did the mixing. I did a lot with him, but and I kind of poured over the recordings night and day, and I think I started to annoy these guys. 1 minute 55 seconds, that's just to change a tiny bit.
No.
Yeah, everybody's kind of happy with. We did some work on the drums for Fatty that they needed to get done, but not too much. We kind of left it a little looser this EP. So the two we did with Fishkill, like we everybody played isolated, and we did scratch tracks. We added everything, post production, changed a lot of the drums around, changed like everything got moved and shifted. And this time we were like, we just want to do live off the floor and get a better feel, a better sound. So we recorded, Fatty and Chris and I recorded, so drums, bass, guitar, all off the floor, and then added Brad's vocals on a different day and Matt's keyboards on a different day. So it has a better like rolling feel to it, a more live feel that we kind of wanted. But I definitely spent many hours listening through the recordings quite a bit, and then communicating back and forth with Devin. I play in a different group with our engineer, so he puts up with me and my manic way of asking a million questions.
It's not easy for us either.
So yeah, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I did have to let it go at one point and say, this is rough is good, and on this recording that's what we were looking for.
It does have a rawness to it that I notice that I enjoy, right?
We tried to maintain that, and it had after we finished mixing, it had a pretty clean sound. We send our stuff down to get mastered with this guy in the States, Dead Air Studios. His name's Will Killingsworth, I think is his last name. It's really awesome last name. But yeah, I sent him the money. It said Will Killingsworth. Okay. Anyway,
he was in another band too, right?
Made it really raunchy sounding, which was lovely on the mastering side of things.
And was he from the band Orchid?
You know what? I feel like that's maybe not advertised so much on his website, but yeah, I'd have to do some research to find that out.
Yeah, it's not a band I'm super familiar with, but I know some of my old car mixes just mix metal and stuff. I definitely had some of that in there at one point.
I know he does a lot of metal mastering and a lot of punk mastering. That's kind of his thing. I think we just Googled like punk mastering for cheap or something like that. Yeah. And he's like bargain basement prices for the quality that you get. It's unbelievable. And he'll do like 2 edits. You send him stuff, and you can send back 2 revisions, which I couldn't
really?
believe. So yeah, he did just an excellent job of stuff too. So yeah, he made it sound kind of raunchy again after we cleaned it up, which is what I was looking for.
Awesome. And where should people look for you guys online if they're like, besides Bandcamp, which we always like to plug? That's probably where I was listening to you the most. I had you on Spotify while I was working today.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Those
That's-
streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music.
We're on all the streaming
DistroKid.
services. I mean, we go through DistroKid, so they just put our music wherever. And
It's like 151 different places DistroKid sends it to.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous, yeah, and
That's
we make
crazy.
like $5 a year off the royalties or something.
Right.
But Bandcamp is probably the best spot. Well, if we have new stuff out, like if we were going to release a single, we'd probably just do it through Bandcamp. We have a Christmas song we put out.
Yeah,
I think I have to take that down. Actually, it's still up.
Yeah.
But every December I release this Christmas song again that we really, really rough recorded.
I was listening to that as well.
Yeah. I got to take it down. Christmas is over now. I'll put it back up next year.
Is that Chris's mess?
Yeah,
Right.
and no relation to our bass player, Chris.
Yeah.
We wrote
Okay.
that song in Fishkill, and we did it. I think we wrote it on a Saturday and played it that night.
Yeah.
at a bar, and it was a total mess and just awesome.
It was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah.
I love that song.
It's a great song. It's a great fun. Brad screams at the audience.
Yeah.
He makes somebody feel like there's a Chris in the audience, and everybody in the whole audience is looking around for this guy that Brad is screaming at.
When you're the holidays and you don't want him there, but yeah, that song too is like it's Christmas. Chris is mess. Chris Kringle is making a mess. Christmas is like polluting everything and screwing things up and just consumption and consumerism, right? So Chris's mess.
I remember when we were kids and Christmas was fun. Now it's just like, here comes Christmas.
Oh my God.
I hate Christmas.
Oh,
I'm beginning to hate
And where you guys mentioned that you were looking for a few bands to play with, and you've mentioned being in other projects as well. One of the questions we usually ask on our regular episodes is suggestions of other bands. I usually go for bands that you've performed with, but I mean, where you've been with a lot of different projects over the years too. I imagine that list could be quite long, but maybe some ideas for us to put onto a companion playlist to promote along with this episode.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Club Rat. We love Club Rat. They're good friends of ours. They play some cool post-punky type stuff.
Yeah, really cool songs.
Yeah, I love their stuff. So
I think they just have an EP on Bandcamp. I don't think there's anything on any streaming services yet besides that. But we're hoping to play a show with them coming up. When we played a show last year with them, they're a great group of guys.
Yeah, they're super fun.
Yeah, there's local.
The
Burning Hell.
Yeah, Burning Hell. They're really fun and
You
great.
really know them.
And I really like Alison Blash's music. She opened at a show in Trailside with us and Tinier, and it was great.
Oh, that's one I'll have to check out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I was able to find her music online too.
Yeah.
She's like
It's on
very,
Bandcamp.
yeah, singer songwriter, just
Spotify as
acoustic
well.
guitar and like super huge range in her voice. Very creepy songs, creepy lyrics.
Yeah.
Just really really cool stuff.
There's Absolute Losers in Charlottetown too. They're really good.
They've been to Glasgow actually.
Oh really? Anyway. Who else? There's a
Janina McGilvery.
Janina, right?
Oh,
She
on
ever
Mind
brought
Waves.
us
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
played a
that's
show
right.
with Mind Waves right on Christmas Eve actually, but they are, I don't think, officially a band anymore. It was their first show in 6 years.
Yeah.
We were super pleased that they asked us to open for them. But I don't know if they're going to be doing more shows or not. Their drummer, I think, is from away, as we say, or lives away now. So yeah, not
Off
sure.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're off island, you say you're off island.
Yeah.
We'd say from away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few bands here now too that are pretty good. A lot of fun to go check out. I should get my book. I have a list of bands. I made a list of a lot of different bands in town because when I tried to book shows and try to get bands, sometimes bands are busy, or we tried to book one show and there was like one Club Rat. Someone had a surgery, and then there was another band that had a surgery, and then people were out of town. So you need to have a big list of people you can contact for shows.
Yes, I've noticed a few that I've been to since things have started opening up, and there's shows everywhere that if you go early enough, you can usually see somebody from the crowd that people go over and they're like, "Hey man, can you pop up on stage and fill space?" And I've seen it more than once now, so it's a little bit more common than it should be, but it's an unfortunate reality. Things happen. Life.
Well, especially with COVID now, I guess people don't have to stay home, but often do stay home because they are too sick to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got our Christmas shows. We had 2 Christmas shows kind of back to back within 6 days of each other, and I got really sick. I showed up and played anyway with a mask on, but didn't find out it was COVID till after the fact. But yeah, had to do it.
I still hugged him.
Everybody hugged me. Yeah, nothing happened to them. There must have been the non-contagious.
You know, we should mention Catholic Gator too. Our
Oh,
friend
yeah,
Matt,
totally.
Keyboard player. His band is called Catholic Gator.
Cool. I'll check that out too.
He's got a ton of music on Bandcamp.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's all really good stuff. I don't know if he's got anything streaming. I haven't looked, but the Bandcamp, like at least 5 or 6 albums on Bandcamp.
He's been that for a long time.
No, the cold weather coming this weekend. I mean, it'll be over hopefully by the time this episode's out, but that'll keep me indoors for a little bit, so I can do some dive, and if they're out there, I'll find them.
Yeah. Minus 45. That's what I heard.
Yeah, something crazy.
It keeps going up. Anybody you talk to, that's 5 degrees. Minus 70.
I have to go to work. I might just say my battery wouldn't start the car.
On my way in here today, my heater wouldn't turn on.
Oh, really?
I toggled it a couple of times. I used my heater today.
And as far as a online presence, Instagram, is that the best place to find you guys, or?
Yeah, we have Instagram and we have a Facebook thing, and we're gonna have to get back in the Instagram. Matt was taking care of that, so let's.
Yeah, I guess one of us has to learn how to use Instagram now. Not really our forte.
I'll tell you.
It's gonna be my thing.
Andrew used it maybe a little bit before, but I only started using Instagram when this podcast started. So you can figure it out.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not that different than Facebook, but I don't know, maybe it's as a group, but Chris has always been unplugged from any type of social media, and are making backpedaling from Facebook quite a bit. So we don't really do a lot of social media personally.
I've been trying to start an anti-social media thing, but I couldn't get any friends.
I'll do it.
I don't know.
I'll be your friend, Charles.
How do you connect with anti-social media people? Yeah. You got to meet people in person. What's that about?
Talk to people with your mouth and stuff. Yeah, so we're going to play out with Dream Scream. Is there anything you want to say about the song, what it means to you, where it came from? Or did you just dream it?
Well, we with Fishka, we did a Dream Scream type thing. We started a show, and I put a mic out and was asking people, like, give us your dream or give us your scream, and getting people up to have a screaming contest. And we're throwing tapes that we had made out for people who are screaming, and
that scream got
it was really fun. And then we were working on the song, and it's about essentially it's about stealing indigenous lands to mine for resources, and so that's a big scream. And the dream is to start thinking about how we can work with indigenous communities and learn from them and change that relationship that we created.
And musically, we just felt it needed a doo-wop section too. So we slapped that in the song. Big heavy outro and doo-wop, and
that's the dreamy part.
That's the dreamy section. Yeah.
And that does have some French lyric as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So for us ignorant Anglophones, what are you saying?
Okay, I have to think of what the lyrics are.
It's not my strong point. If we go for a walk, si on marche
à pied, on pourra trouver c'est possible de faire toutes les choses qu'on never did. If we walk hand in hand, we might find that we can do things that we never. What's the last line? On va faire des choses qu'on
never dare.
That we would never dare to do.
That's a shout out to the Les Hey Babies, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So Les Hey Babies have a similar sound and line like that, and so I think they say never dare in one of the songs.
Yeah, you took that
so I saw them at the Carrefour de Lille, I think is what it's called, the France Abbott.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And I wasn't conscious of that when I did this, but I was like, oh, this really sounds like Hey Babies. Maybe they say baby stuff, and
that's what you can say.
Yeah. I never translated for the rest of the band.
I think they have a new single out or something. As well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
So there they made the companion playlist. So anyone listening,
Yeah,
to this,
cool.
check them out too.
I'm sure you guys, just on the French vein, but the Lisa LeBlanc's new album, Chiac Disco, if you haven't heard that yet, you got to listen to it.
Yeah, I'm seeing the name quite a bit there too. I'm where I don't really know French. Like I should, but I don't. So I'm interested in learning more because I have noticed a lot of our artists have been starting to venture into that a little bit. Like people that we've been talking to.
Yeah, that's cool.
Not the majority, but there's been enough that it's a percentage.
Uh-huh.
So I'm a little curious. So I'm trying to dive into it a little bit. And my daughter's actually taking French immersion, so I should probably brush up on it a little bit. So high school was a while ago.
Google Translate's an amazing thing now.
Yeah, there's a Bon Patron is a really good online. You can write in French, and it will check your paragraphs for conjugation and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Bon Patron, BONPATRON, for anyone that needs some just to get their paragraphs checked out.
Something better than Google Translate.
Yeah. Incidentally, my favorite tequila.
Oh.
And if anyone wants to find us online, everything is in the link tree down below. So instead of listing them off, hit the link tree and everything's in there. All our episodes are in there. Most of our episodes are in there. And that's it for this episode. This was Feelings, and this is Dream Scream. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
Caring about it. Responsibility is nowhere to be found. It gets to me. The consequences of the global extraction of all the resources we can rip from the ground. It gets to me. And all the ways in which indigenous peoples have been treated and continue to be. It gets to me, gets to me. You rip the stuff out without caring about it. Responsibility is nowhere to be found. It gets to me. It gets to me. The consequences of the global extraction of all the resources we can rip from the ground. It gets to me. It gets to me. And all the ways in which indigenous peoples have been treated and continue to be. It gets to me, gets to me. It gets to me. You tear their lands up with the lies and the police. Reconciliation is just nowhere to be found. It gets to me. It gets to me. Me, 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 me. If I could just say I've thought about the day, and all along the way I've seen the possibility. Et si on marche à pied, on pourra trouver. C'est possible de faire toutes les choses qu'on never